Let's get rocking and rolling here. How's everyone doing today? Thumbs up? Thumbs sideways? Thumbs up. Good. Let's get started with best. Tell me something good. Who's got something good that happened today?
I got something good.
Who's that? Karen?
My listing went live today. I'm super excited.
That is awesome. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Things are happening.
Yeah.
Who else?
Tori here. I'm
Hey, Tori.
driving from Beloit. Just did a virtual showing with my buyers. The house is a 9.5 out of 10 for them. So hopefully we will be writing an offer.
I love that. So what's the next step? We're going to write an offer, and then is it a caveat of seeing it in person or not?
Say that again, Michael?
I said, what is the next step? We're going to write an offer, and is there a caveat of them seeing it in person, or were they comfortable enough
I
with
lost
the
you.
virtual?
Oh, yeah. And
Michael, I've done virtual showings with them. They're out of California, but they're really looking for a needle in a haystack, and I think we might have found it. So, yeah.
That is
But
fantastic.
I've been doing virtual showings with them since I started with them, so I was comfortable with doing that from the start.
Well, that is fantastic. It can be done. Give me another one. Tell me something good. Tell me something good. I've got all day.
Well, Katie and her command and KW app training was very helpful to me today.
That's awesome. That is great news. Katie's been doing a phenomenal job, hasn't she?
Very much so.
All right.
And I
Along with,
appreciate her patience with me.
that's fantastic. And Barb and Tara and Carolyn and everybody. So don't forget to tell them that they're doing a great job. They're pushing as hard as they can. So thanks for plugging in. Okay, well, Miss Lisa was going to be running today's program, and she set it up, yet she had some fire drills that she had to put out, or some fires, so you get my little smiley face. So today, we're working to bring you value, and Al Gint is going to be joining us from BPG Inspections. Al, are you there? I see your name there. Al, I'm going to unmute you.
Okay.
There you go.
Now do you hear me?
I hear you. I don't see you, but I hear you.
Well, we're the inspectors you can't see, apparently.
All right. What's going on in the inspection world? What do we need to know?
Well, obviously in today's world, everything is changing. And we want to change with it, obviously, but also we want to take, people's thoughts and concerns with it. So there are a few things that have changed. One, the climate has changed. Obviously, we all know, we don't want to be more than 6 feet closer to somebody than we are right now. We can't have groups more than 10 people. Only essential business can be done, which, as you can see, all phases of the real estate transaction, everybody's doing things differently. We are too. For one thing, we used to do the booties when we walked in the house. Now we're doing gloves. We're doing hand sanitizer. We're wearing masks. So that part is a whole lot of awareness. In this economy and the way things are right now, we're able to still do inspections, but there's some parts of the country where, like here in Madison, it might be allowed to do it, but like say Middleton, they may have different rules. And we're finding that in Pennsylvania and New York and stuff like that's going like that close. Things are changing, one community versus another. So we always got to be aware where we're at. But what I would suggest with an inspection, there's a few things we really want to talk about. One is what the state's requiring. The state still requires the same laws and everything else we did before in the past. They actually sent out an email to all home inspectors and appraisers yesterday, and they suggested that we do virtual inspections, i.e. drive-bys. I don't know about you, but if I was to buy a house and I was going to sign for it, I don't want a drive-by inspection.
I'm with you.
So there's two things to think about. Number one is the client, and that's the foremost concern here. We're still doing inspections. We're taking these extra steps to be, cleanliness and take care of their house. But at the same point, if an inspector takes that to heart and they were to go ahead and do a drive-by inspection, i.e. take your camera and go walk through the house and videotape and then write report off of that, that's a drive-by inspection. I can tell you from my years of inspecting and dealing with different inspector insurance companies, if you told them you did a drive-by inspection, they would tell you that that inspection is your own coverage. They're not covering you on that inspection. So that is a concern. The other concern is a drive-by inspection, you're not turning water on, you're not checking drains, you're not going to the attic, you're not opening electrical panels, you're not checking outlets. I don't know how you can do that. So that's the concerns there. In order to make that stuff happen, things we have done to help the client, one, we can still have the inspection. Typically the buyers or the buyer's agents, if they want to come, it's fine. We don't encourage to have too many people at the inspection. So if you come, you still keep your 6 feet distance away. Definitely no more than 9 people at the inspection, okay? 2, we encourage the client to come, but at the same point, we want to encourage them not to bring friends and family, where in the past, if someone says, I really want to bring, Uncle Joe or Aunt Sue or somebody like that because they're really important to me. Really, you want to be the client should be the one that comes. It shouldn't be those people. We shouldn't get a crowd of people at the inspection. Thirdly, if they don't feel comfortable, either we can talk to them before or after the inspection or when they get the report, whatever way they want to do it, so they can see the stuff as we present it to them online. Or what I've done recently is this week, I had a client say, well, I don't want to be there through the whole inspection. I just want to come at the end and you can do the summary with me. Okay, so what we did is we literally, she met me after I was basically down to the last 15 minutes of inspection, she came in. I got my notebook out and I just said, here's what's going to be in the report. This is why it's going to be in the report. And we went to each of the items. Well, now she had that picture in her mind. So when she saw that report, she could literally look at the picture because she's seen it and she could talk to her realtor and say, hey, that window that, it's cracked, that may be my one issue. But at least, she had that visual idea in her mind. So we don't want to give that up because it's so important to the client. So that's kind of where we're at. Obviously, in this marketplace, we have to be aware of what's going on. And if someone is sick at the home, that inspection's off and has to be rescheduled. And it might be a situation because they're actually got this virus. They got to sit in that house for 14 days. Maybe it's going to extend that time frame that you have to have that house on contract, which kind of adds to your guys' dilemma. But at the same point, I would think it's understandable that they would extend it at that point. So there are a lot of things that change in this whole environment. Obviously, if a home inspector gets sick, we obviously that's going to get canceled. Also, what we like to do when we schedule the inspection, we usually ask whoever's scheduling it at that time if anybody in the home's sick or if the client's sick and who's coming. The day before the inspection, we always call the buyer and we make sure that they're healthy and they can come to the inspection. And we'll call the realtor and verify that nobody's sick at the home. But if you get to the home and knock on the door and someone answers the door and they, I hate to say it'd be the same thing as a showing. We'll come back another day. A year ago we might have said something different because society was different and our climate was different. But we have to kind of do what we do is right here. Look out for everybody. So there's some things like that we really need to do. And I just want to throw that stuff out to you folks. Was there any questions out there about the inspections? Because I know that it's really a tough situation and your clients are going to have a lot of questions regarding that.
I think that's a high level of professionalism and integrity that you are bringing to the table and to the transaction by calling both parties ahead of time to make sure that everybody's nice and safe and you're not spreading anything. So that's phenomenal. What are turnaround times looking like right now for inspections? Have they been affected?
It hasn't been affected because this time of year, we're pretty well booked out, typically. I don't have to tell you guys what the market's like right now. It's slowing down. We have been steady, but we're not steady packed. So we can still, we still can easily get people in, turn them out pretty quickly. And that being said, reports with our company, I get them out the same day. It's usually that evening I put them out, and they're all electronic. So that's all good. And the big thing with us is we're always available. If the client wants to call, you want to call, or if you want to do like a little Zoom meeting to go over a report with the client, we can do that too. It's really important for them to understand what it is, because that makes your discussions the way you go forward so much easier. A lot of times where the problems come out is when people don't understand something and then something gets blown out of proportion because they really don't know what the scope of that particular thing is.
I agree 100%. Anyone have any questions they'd like to ask Val? Going once, going twice. Sold. All right, Al, thank you so much for joining us today. And keeping us
No, I have a question. I do have a question. Sorry.
You're after the block.
No one ever gets away.
I couldn't find the unmute button. I got a question. Does the length of the inspection take the same amount of time?
A typical inspection, you usually have a slot of time, obviously what you know, but what takes a lot of extra time in an inspection is one, is the inspection, two, you're spending time with the client, and three, explanation. So the inspection may be a little bit shorter, but you're going to spend more time on the phone with a client afterwards, or you're going to spend time at the end. But we're talking 15, 20 minutes variation at that point, and it's not that big of a deal.
Thanks, Alan. Appreciate it.
All right, one more time. Okay, thank you so much, Al. Stay safe out there, and thank you very much for bringing some insights and information as we're moving forward.
All right, still safe for you all too. Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Al.
All right, everybody, we're doing our best as a leadership team to make these meetings a little bit shorter. So we're going to stop a little bit early rather than going the full half hour. Is there anything anybody else would like to share that you learned today from a best practice standpoint? Any evolutions?
I don't have anything to share. I have a question.
Sure.
I was setting up my showing time thing, and I was wondering where the virtual tour thing was, because I couldn't find anything on that.
Does anybody know the answer to that?
Like where you
post it?
put your link, you mean?
What?
Where you input your link?
No, when I was in showing time. I guess
You want to add your link to showing time? Why would you you mean Paragon or showing time?
showing time. Wasn't
Lynn, this is Lisa. Lynn made mention yesterday that there's something through showing time for virtual showings or virtual open houses. And so I think that's what Karen's asking about.
yes.
We will be covering that at the team meeting tomorrow, Karen. So Lynn's doing some research on that and we'll have information tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
I don't know the answer. If no one else on here knows the answer either, then,
Okay.
then we
I
can
put
wait
notes in,
tomorrow
so
maybe.
it'll be fine till then.
Thank you.
Does anyone else know that answer? Devery, do you?
Shaking his head. Nope. So we'll work on it overnight, and at the 11:30 team meeting tomorrow, we're essentially doing it as citywide. And we have some fun and games that are going to be there at the same time. So come join
Okay.
us, and we'll get you
Thanks.
an answer to your question.
And you're serving
Thank you
lunch,
so
right?
much.
You're serving lunch, right?
Something like that. I
Virtually.
thought that was your job.
Hey, and then on Friday at 4:30, we are doing a happy hour, a social happy hour at 4:30 rather than the wrap up. So
Sweet.
join us for that.
Do we bring our own beverages?
You may. It's
Please do.
BYO.
Yeah.
All right, everybody, have a fantastic night, and we will see you tomorrow morning for Darren's 9 o'clock meeting.
Thanks for this.
Michael.
Bye now.
Thanks,
Thank
Michael.
you.
Appreciate it.